From the earliest time I can remember in high school working on that newspaper, I wanted to be a journalist.
I would always grow up complaining about the commercials on TV. And my mom always said to me, why don't you go out and make that commercial?
I first came to UW as a music student, but I felt like there was something else I needed to do to give back to my community, and I found that in journalism.
I knew I wanted to do this when I was a sophomore in high school. I did an internship at CBS in Minneapolis, and day one I knew it just called to me.
There are many moments, but one early one was my first job in newspapers in Trenton, New Jersey, when on the same day City Hall burned down, there was a riot at the state prison, and the water filtration plant broke, and there was no water in the whole city of Trenton. And I covered all three and had 5 bylines on the front page of the newspaper, and boy, was that a thrill.
The thing that has never changed from the beginning of journalism in Wisconsin to today is its work ethic.
Year after year, the University of Wisconsin at Madison is ranked among the best places to study media and communication in the world, not just the country, but the world.
Regardless of who I was interviewing, I never had a bit of hesitation that my skills and my product was just as good. That's what I consider world class.
Employers tell us all the time that your students, your alums, your grads are ready to hit the ground running. I think that kind of encapsulates this whole feeling of world-class standing, hands-on learning.
I think one of the big concerns, especially for students and for their parents, is that it is a large institution. You just have to find your niche. You'll have to find your niche in life. It's a large world.
Madison is one of those universities that is part of the larger state and of the country and of the world, and so that really helps educate the students as much as the classroom.
I just got off the phone with someone who said, I don't know what you're doing at Wisconsin, but keep doing it.
We're training folks to be adaptable, to be flexible, and how to learn.
They're using digital tools, they're working in audio, they're working in video, they're building websites, they're doing social campaigns, they're learning analytics.
We have students in health communication. We have students in aerospace. We have students in banking. We have students in a variety of fields that are different than they ever anticipated.
We learned how to operate cameras, we learned how to edit, we learned how to interview people on camera, and just recently they started using the equipment at the Wisconsin Public Television station, and I got to sit behind the scenes and do technical directing for that.
I was in a class called Curb magazine, which was my favorite class I've taken. So that class is 20 students that produce a magazine entirely by themselves. When they brought in those boxes, like of 10,000 copies, one of the best feelings in the world, really.
What journalism does is it teaches you how to think. You arrive at the scene as a trained journalist, prepared to ask the questions that are going to make people think, and you have to think your way through it. And that's how I think people should live their lives.
There are a lot of important ways to serve society, and journalism is one of those. And it's a very rewarding experience in that sense.
As an alum, as a parent of a student, I like to say that the journalism school is a jewel in the crown of UW-Madison. It's a solid gold experience. We are part of something that helps people understand the world around them and genuinely care about it. The payoff you get is hearing about the impact they're having in their world. What a gift that is to be able to do that.
In the last 4 years, I learned that I don't want to just get a job. The thing that makes me feel happy and complete is doing something that matters to other people in my community, and going out and talking to them, figuring out how I can help project their voice to make a real impact. I feel like that is my true calling that I've found through the J School.
I hope I've made a difference. I don't do this just to be in front of a camera. I do it because I love it.